what is up? I'm back with another video on my binary to decimal converter. Now, this is version 5, and I believe I have got everything I needed done for it. Now, it took a little bit longer to get this video made because because, after I already built it, I went and did the video on version 4. And then between making that video to making this one, I actually thought of a few things that could make this thing a little bit faster. So, to start off, we have your basic 7-segment displays. I have a random number generator hooked up to the inputs just for demonstration purposes. And as you can tell, this is not exactly the smallest of builds. In fact, because of how many pistons this actually uses, it lags my game quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is first run through everything and then I'm going to demonstrate it. So the first thing it does is receive a number from the random number generator, saves it into this little memory cell. I don't know the technical term, sends it through to these pistons, pushing down a redstone block into this very compact busing, which then sends it all the way down to the actual inputs of the 8-bit adders. Now, how this works is it has 20 adders. Uh, Now, the reason why it has so many is you have 2 for the hundreds because, again, 8 bits can only go up to 255. Now, it has 9 adders for the tens, 9 adders for the ones. Reason being is because the max number in each of those 2-digit places is 9, obviously. So, after after that, it goes through and it asks, okay, can I subtract 100 from this? If so, then it moves on to the next one and then asks the same thing. If the answer is no, then it does not send that current output from those, and then it moves on to the next layer and repeats the process except with tens and ones. Now, it, how it determines on whether it can or cannot send a signal to the next adder or not is actually relatively simple. It's controlled by 3 different lines, uh, uh, all of which being from the carryout. Now, the important thing is making sure that the adder does not control itself, otherwise you will get a ultimate loop. So what it does is if it cannot do the subtraction, it sends a signal up, blocking it from sending it to the next one, and then it also sends a signal backwards to the previous, or before it was doing the subtraction, as says, hey, send this number. So that's 2 of the 3. The third one is saying, hey, if this adder, or if this subtractor, it cannot do this subtraction, then none of you guys are able to do it as well. So that is the third line. Now, that's pretty much this in a nutshell. However, it does have a little bit of extra circuitry on the side here. And basically from here this way, it, that is all just to reset the machine. Uh, Now, it will still work without that, however, it will be about 5 to 8 seconds slower. And then the, these things that are sticking out right there, those are pretty much comparators that compares the current output of that and asks, okay, is this 9 or less? Or is this 99 or less? So it just makes those smaller numbers a little bit faster to process. So, oh, and this runs on a 196 tick clock. I could be wrong. If you want, go ahead, count the repeaters, add up the ticks, and then multiply it by 2 because of the, yeah. Yeah, I know it's like 190 something. So it's about 200 ticks, pretty much being about 20 seconds. Now, if I come down here and turn on the random number generator, and then I come over here and I turn on the clock, all we have to do is just sit back and watch it decode. Now, if you notice, every time it goes to a new number, it completely resets to 0. That is a key part in making this as fast as it is. If you do not have that, then this will actually be slower than version 4. However, I am very proud of this. However, I can tell you right now, I already have an idea in my head for how I'm going to do version 6. And version 6, it's going to be, let's just say, different from how you would see most redstone computers or calculators or any type of decoding, because it's going to use a type of code that I I couldn't even find online. Like, I thought of it in my head as like, oh my gosh, this is going to work. I look it up to try to find the technical definition of it, and I can't. So when I get to making that, which I don't know exactly when I'm going to, because I just recently got done building this one and I don't necessarily feel like going in and making a series of adders again. So expect that to be within the next few months, I would say. However, let's just say that it's going to be about half the size of this one, roughly half the size, and a lot fat. It, actually, about twice as fast, actually, which means that I should be able to get this pretty much cut completely in half using a very specific algorithm. It's not necessarily going to be binary to decimal exactly. It's going to be like a binary to a very odd type of decimal to the regular decimal. N Not necessarily binary coded decimal, so, because that's what I'm trying to avoid entirely. However, I'm coming up on that 10-minute mark, which means that I can no longer record longer than 10 minutes. Again, I'm using the Xbox recording software, so yeah. But have a good one, guys, and I will see you in the next one.